Okay, students, now I will try to make a graph on Excel in the same way for the all averages cost. So this table I have shown you in the last videos. These are the average cost calculated from the same table. So I'll be trying to draw all these curves from this table. So I'm again minimizing this. So I'm having this Excel sheet on my left side of the screen, and this is the same table on the right side of the screen of that PPT slide I've shown you in the last lectures. So I would like to now calculate all the averages cost and side by side making the graph of all those costs. Okay, now I am getting again in my Excel sheets and taking these three columns or four columns for making the area for those graphs. So I've selected the area, and now I'm inserting my required graphs, and it is sorry, it is not the dotted one. It is line graph. I have selected the line graph, same as the previous video. And now why I've chosen this area. So the first one is, again, I'll be copy this quantity column. I'm copying this into this selected area. Sorry, I would like to copy this into this selected area, paste this one. So sorry, again, you can see that the quantity is being scaled on the x-axis starting from 1 up to the 11. Now I'll be calculating the average fixed cost here. So this column would be going to average fixed cost, AFC. The second column would be the average variable cost, and the third column would be for the average total cost. So you know the formula very well, how I've calculated average fixed cost, average variable cost, and average total cost in this slides. So I am just enlarging the screen just to get a good and proper and better view. So dear students, it's very easy exercises. You can do it again by yourself in homes, and I would suggest you to do it just to learn it. Okay, now what is average fixed cost? As I told you in the previous lectures, average fixed cost is the ratio of total fixed cost divided by the quantity of output. So I am having this total fixed cost column and having this quantity column. So just I am putting the formula. So this is the equal sign starting for the formula, and the formula is total fixed cost divided by the quantity. So that is total fixed cost. I am clicking on the total fixed cost column and divided by the quantity, and just entering into, and that is 60 it is the average fixed cost for producing 1 unit of output, and just dragging it down to the 11, I'll get all these curves into this graph. So you can see this that the average fixed cost is decreasing. Initially it has a sharp decrease, and afterward the decrease ratio is becoming smaller and smaller, because if you remember the curves I've made here, you can see this average fixed cost is just decreasing in the same pattern which I have drawn in my graphs. Okay, this is this was of average fixed cost. I am just putting 2 decimal fractions just to get a better view of this column. Now I am calculating the average variable cost. Average variable cost is as we know, it is the ratio of total variable cost divided by the quantity. So I'm starting my formula with the equal sign, and the formula is total variable cost divided by the quantity. So this is total variable cost, I'm clicking on it, and divided by, I'm clicking on the quantity again. So by doing enter, pressing enter, I am getting the average variable cost, and just hold it from its corner and drag down to the last value, that you will be getting orange line as the average variable cost. And again, for the reference, if I go to my previous graphs, so this is average variable cost. It is having a same pattern which I have drawn in this Excel sheet. Okay, now in the I'm sorry, I'm doing it again on the second two decimal figures, just having a good look. Okay, average total cost. Average total cost is, again, you know the formula. It is sorry, I've put on the wrong cell. Okay, this is the formula of total cost. This is total cost divided by the quantity. So this is actually, I'm dragging it down to the 11 value, and this is, I'm having the average total cost, and this average total cost is again getting to the two decimal figures. So these all curves are the same alike curves, just as I've shown you in this slides. So my dear students, you can draw it by yourself. And the last attempt is to make a graph of the marginal cost. If you remember the marginal cost concepts, and marginal cost, if I go to the previous slides, I've told you the marginal cost as the formula like that. That is the delta, or change in the total cost, divided with change in the output. Now I'm putting this formula into my Excel sheet. Definitely the change would be coming from the second row. So I'm just clicking on the second cell, because I will be showing the change in the marginal cost as compared to the first column, first row. So that's why I'll be putting the formula of this marginal cost of having the change in the total cost, the change in this total cost divided by the change in the output. So how I'm putting it, just see this, I'm clicking on the equal sign, starting with the parenthesis or starting bracket. Here I will be putting the difference in the total cost. So total cost is this 120 minus 105. So 120, I'm clicking on this, and minus 105 I've clicked in on, and I'm just closing this parenthesis. And this is being divided by, again, the difference of quantity. So difference of quantity is obviously the Q, this one Q2, let's say, and minus this is Q1, and I'm closing this parenthesis as well, and just clicking or putting or pressing the enter. So this is 15. The marginal cost is as shown in the last slides, like this, 15. So just following the formula for the rest of the column, I'll be just dragging down it to the last row. So just hold from the corner and just drag it down to the last row. That would be marginal cost. But this is not shown in the graph, because this column is not being in canvas, because this canvas comprises or controlling these four columns. And just to get this marginal cost into this canvas, I am just holding this whole corner of this whole block and just dragging it to the right of this column, and then we can see that how this curve moves along with this. You can see that the marginal cost is less than the average cost initially, and after that by crossing variable cost from its minimum and total cost from its minimum, and it's get to the larger than the average cost. So guys, that's how I can make graphs on the Excel sheet. You can try it at home by yourself. It is a good and interesting practice. You will be knowing the behaviors of all these costs. Thank you very much. We will see you in the next video, and please subscribe the channel and click on the ring bell, because all my next videos will be will come on your notification side. Thank you very much.